All right, so we're going to talk briefly about graphical user interfaces or GUIs, and this is going to be within our Python unit. So if we are looking at our Code Sculptor module, really what we're looking at for this one, when we run this, this is a GUI, this box that pops up. We have a button over here, and we'll see that as we're looking through this, our documentation, where we're going to want to focus, is going to be in the graphics module. So we're going to look here of all of these simple GUI modules that have built in. So this is a Code Sculptor specific module. It won't run in a other Python environment, but it gives us a lot of the kind of working things that we need to make things work for Python. So let's start off with just some basics of what we're looking at. So you're going to look at and build this code. You can see we have an import statement here at the top. And that's going to bring in all the simple GUI components we need. And then one of the things that's going to be very important is we need to draw things to what's called the canvas. So you can see we have draw, canvas, frame. This should start to kind of trigger the idea of an art project in your head because we have all those kind of components. So when we run this code, what we get here is this box. This box is called our frame. This black area is called our canvas. And so I can resize the frame. That doesn't necessarily resize the canvas. And all of our drawing, our components, are going to be drawn onto the canvas. So you can see I have A, B, and C over here. And then these pieces are coordinates, these are font sizes, and this is the color. So if I was to change one of these, so let's make this one really big, so let's say like 100, and then run it again, you can see I get a gigantic A. Now it's off of the screen, right? This size 2020 was not big enough to capture that, and I could change the color to be something else. So let's say that I wanted to make this back to 20, and if I make this green, we'll see that I get that green A to show up. So some of the things to pay attention to is we can have this one draw handler here. This piece is going to create our frame. It's 100 pixels by 100 pixels. If I wanted to make it bigger, I could change this to be 400 and 400 or any numbers I want. I can see my black box gets bigger according to the numbers that I put in there. The other thing to note is in math class we have our origin, so our 0, 0 coordinate would be in the center of our screen. In computer science, more often than not, the origin 0, 0 is in this upper left corner. So positive x values move us to the right, and positive y values move us down. So if I wanted to move A down into the middle, what I'd have to do is give it a coordinate of, let's say, 200 and 200. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And then if I run it again, I can see that this corner of it is at that center point. So where it starts drawing that piece, it doesn't center the character in the middle. It draw that corner part, that bottom left is where it's going to be. So some of the things that we have to look out for as we're doing these is we need to set a draw handler. So we create a frame and then we tell it what our draw handler will be. We can name this whatever we want and you'll change it down the road. And if I run this now, you can see that I have an issue, right? I haven't specified what that will be. And so now if I say draw handler, things work the way they were before. The other thing I need to do is I need to start my frame. If you ever have something where you have a white box, what that means is you haven't started your frame. So nothing will show up, no drawings will be there. You'll just have this white box. All right. So that's it for kind of the overview of it. You can see again that we have, let me start the frame again, a user interface. This one is pretty boring in that there's no interactivity. We can't do anything with it. It's just a picture. So in the next part, we're going to look at how do we introduce buttons and input boxes and let the user actually interact with our components.